Hey guys, so I wanted to do a quick review of this Yard Butler core aerator. This is the card from it. Okay. And then there's some stuff on the back. But what this thing does is it's got two hollow tines, right, that are 4 inches long. This one is at least 4 inches long. Okay. And what it does is when you step on it, it shoots out these plugs. And it makes a bunch of little holes in your yard. And the idea is that you can see there's a bunch of these little things everywhere that look like little dog turds. But the idea is that it makes a hole. See? You can see right there. And then there's another one here. And you go up and down your entire yard every 4 to 6 inches, and you aerate your yard. Now, it worked pretty well for me. A lot of people say that, and of course you're dealing with, I have clay soil. You can just see the soil I got, okay? So you know what you're dealing with here. My soil is pretty dense, okay? So, just so you know what I have. I live in California, got clay soil. And it gets plugged up. When it works well, but like anything else dealing with dirt, it's gonna get plugged up, okay? And I don't know why. At least on mine, the right hand tine will get plugged up somewhat frequently initially, and once it gets plugged up, you don't want to keep using it because it's just gonna jam the dirt and compact it even more. So what I kind of figured out is you gotta unplug it, okay? And this is what I did. Um, Based on a comment from another YouTube user, I got a bucket of water. Just fill it up about halfway, so it covers up the whole length of the tine, the whole 4 inches. So fill it up about halfway. This is like a 3-gallon bucket, okay? And I made myself this rebar tool. Now you can use a screwdriver. I use a rebar tool because it's almost perfectly the size of the. I think it's a half inch tine or 3/8 tine. And so it's almost perfectly the size, plus it got a little texture, and so I welded a T-handle on it. I wear a glove, of course, and you can use this to clear it out, okay? And after you clear it out, you use one of these brushes, okay? This one's like a half inch, but that thing's 3/4, so this one works, but it's not a real tight fit. But if you have a 3/4 brush, it's better. And after you soak it in the water and you run the tool through it, right? So you run the tool through it, knock all the dirt out. You have to take this brush, and when it's still dipped in the water, run the brush through, okay? Run the brush through, run the brush to the other way until it is clean in there, okay? Whichever side is plugged up. And if you do that, then it works pretty well. It'll give you a couple hundred steps in between, and it might plug up again, but once it gets going, it gets going, okay? If it's working, don't stop to clean it, just keep using it. Only stop if you notice that it's not shooting the plugs out anymore. And for me, with a little bit of work, yes, it's work. It is work. It's a lot of steps. It's a lot of, cleaning depending on your soil. Make sure that you do it after rain or heavy watering. The soil should be wet up to like 4 to 6 inches down, okay? If you got dry soil, it's probably not going to work that well for you. So after rain is good, after heavy water is good. Use it every 6 inches, take a step every 6 inches, stamp it down. It worked for me. I knocked the whole yard out. I knocked this whole backyard out, not very big, in about 2 hours, but I did a lot of holes though. So I did it really close together, sometimes even 3 inches, 2 inches apart, because I have an old compacted lawn. But it works. Okay, it does work, and I think the secret is, I don't know why it gets jammed up, and even after you take the dirt out of it with the screwdriver, it'll get jammed up. You have to clean it out with a brush and water in the bucket. It only takes a couple seconds. Once you get the screwdriver through or the rebar through, it only takes a couple seconds to brush it up. But make sure it is clean, clean, clean before you start going again. And if it gets jammed up, do it again. But you will get good runs between jam ups. So uh, that's just my tip. A lot of people, they don't want to do any work. If you don't want to do any work, maybe those motorized ones are good for you. But for me, the time to go get it and use it, it's heavy, and I got sprinkler lines on here that are not that deep, so I don't want that big heavy motorized thing running over my sprinkler lines. I just got this, and I'll just keep. It is work. It'll, for front and backyard, it probably took me maybe 4 hours. Okay, but I did do a lot of holes. But all in all, I recommend the item. After 2-3 days of usage, the paint's worn off on the end, but it's still sharp and it's still comfortable. I'm 6 feet tall. That's a good handle length for me. If you're taller, maybe you might have some difficulty with this thing. I think the overall length from the step to the handle is 32 inches. Okay. So if you're very tall, this maybe not for you, but it's built for the average Joe like me, I guess. But again, a rebar tool, cleaning brush, and when you're done, take every piece of dirt off of it with a hose, blow the water through there, run the brush through there, and then hit it with some silicone before you put it for storage, or WD-40, whatever you got. Because once the tips get rusted, they'll lose their sharpness, and then it's gonna suck. So all in all, I'm pretty happy with this item. Did the job that I wanted it to. A little bit of work, a little bit of cleaning, not perfect, but I would recommend it overall. Thanks for watching.